Hey guys, so I thought I would do something a little different for this week's video. I thought I'd just do live videos and see how this format goes. This requires me to not edit, just because that seems to be my biggest place where I get stuck. I can record the video, and I just don't want to edit it and upload it. So let's see how this goes. It's a Saturday night. I've had a busy day and got myself a glass of some wine that I haven't, first I've had any in 2 years. So we'll see how this goes. So I thought that I would just kind of do like a little get to know me style chat with me video. Um, I called it like biography edition. We're not gonna go into like my history completely detailed. Not happening. Love my cat there. She's purring. I don't think you can hear, but she is purring. But just kind of a get to know me. This is my life style video, a little bit of my past, but yep. And I get to sit and drink wine. Oh yeah. Um, no, I'm really just excited because my son, who is 1, he'll be 14 months old in a couple of days, decided 2 nights ago that he was done nursing, done breastfeeding. He's done it for nearly 14 months of his life. Don't need it no more. So I'm trying to celebrate by realizing that I can drink wine and not have to wear an outfit that will allow me to nurse. And yeah, trying to celebrate, though I feel like mourning. So that's why the wine, which is actually not terrible. I've never had this wine before. The wine I usually get, I didn't feel like going to the supermarket to get. It's like maybe 5% alcohol, but it's a blackberry wine and it tastes really good. It's just, if you want to get buzzed, it's not the wine to drink for that. It's more like it's just like it's fermented, but barely. So it tastes really good, and it's like stupid cheap. Then it tastes good, and that's the big thing for me. I'm not a huge wine drinker. I've come to realize. Hi, Willow. I totally didn't even post anywhere that I was gonna go live. So hi. But so I am from Oregon. I live in Oregon. I grew up in Idaho, and but I moved here when I was 14. I moved um to Springfield, and now I live in the Salem area. And so when I was shopping for wine at Target today, I wanted to get an Oregon wine. And this one actually is down the street from me. It's the Eola Hills Pinot Noir. I thought I'd try it. Actually, not terrible. It only tastes sort of lighter fluid and not mostly of lighter fluid. I'm such a wino, right? But no, it tastes actually not terrible. The red one I used to get, they no longer make it in the red. They still make it in the white and the pink, but they don't have it in the red anymore, which makes me really, really sad. Um, it's the Rosada. It's a different shaped bottle, which is why I picked it up to begin with. I was like, I know nothing about wine. Let's pick up this bottle. It looks fun, and it actually turned out really good wine. Um, that sweet burn of alcohol. um, so hi Mia. That's my cat Mia. My bangs are driving me crazy. I need to trim them. I'll do that this weekend. Tomorrow, I think. I'm totally not trying to look good. Like, the reason I'm still dressed because it's like 9 o'clock at night is because I'm making this video. After this, I'm totally getting my PJs. I just didn't feel like it. I feel like, if it's gonna look pretty, to stay pretty for the video. But Eola Hills is down the road for me. I'm losing my track of thought. And feel free to pop in with questions naturally. Although, as far as I know, Willow's the one who's here, and Willow and I are friends, although we haven't talked forever. Anyway, um, so yeah, I live near Salem, Oregon. It's just you. I love you. I would heart, but I don't have the other hand. The other hand is currently held on my phone, so here's her for heart. Um, um, but so I have. You're so sweet. I have one son. He's 14 months old. Hubby and I, his name is Alex, have been married. Will be 7 years this June. So about 6.5 years now. My back hurts. I've been going all day. And I don't know what I was expecting this video to be, but yeah, just thought I'd sit down and make a video, especially since my son is for first time in several months. Not in my bed, well, not first time. This is night 2 of him not in my bed. So lots of celebration around. No, it is just you. I can see that up there. Cool. But yeah, I can post afterwards and you guys can say hi. I'm just being a dork. It's like, it's not late. It's 9 o'clock. It's not late, but you are purring something awful back there, little girl. We have 4 cats. This is mine. She's my Mia. I've had her since 2012, that fall. Her birthday is August 4th. Be yourself. Be yourself. You be yourself. But no, my husband has his cat, Kosa, and then we also have a pair of twins, Luke and Leia. He named them. I thought it was cute. They're both white with spots, colored spots. He is blonde and she is like orange. He's orange blonde color. She's a gray. So he was like, hey, they're coloring match Luke and Leia, and they're twins too, and all that. I'm like, I don't care. I think you're cute. We're running with this shit. So, I'll come back. I'm being totally unladylike, but you can tell. I love videos. Come on, focus. There we go. Forgive my camera if you get like light spots, like I can see one right back there. That's just the screen's broken a little bit on my phone and a little bit around the camera. So the front facing tends to get that reflection spots. So sorry. I'm planning on getting new one in a couple months when we get our taxes, which will hopefully just be a couple months. Yeah, I currently have a Samsung Galaxy 8 Plus. I love it. I've had Samsung since the 5, and I've had the 5, 6, 7, and now the 8. And I was planning on upgrading to the 9, but then we just didn't have money, and I just didn't want to do it right away. And then my screen broke, and I was like, oh good, I need to get a new screen because I have a 1-year-old who loves to stick everything in his mouth, including my phone. And the screen's made of glass. Not a good idea. But then they're like, yeah, it's $100 for your deductible for your insurance on your phone to replace the screen, or to replace the phone. And I'm like, bitch, please. No. So I was gonna upgrade it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna upgrade to a cheap phone. Or if I wait a couple months, I'm going to get an Asus, one of their Sun phones. I don't exactly know which one I want. I'm thinking about the 5Q or the Max Plus. The Max Plus has a better longer battery life, which is great, except I use my phone mostly for the camera. Mostly for the camera. My phone is a camera and a mini computer that I sometimes use as a phone. So I'm leaning towards a 5Q because it's got technically 4 cameras. Guys, 4. 2 front, 2 back. Wide angle shots. So that I'm totally ready to get away from Samsung's low light camera. It's perfectly great. I love it. It makes everything like dark doesn't look dark. It's great if that's what you're going for. But when you're, trying to take a picture of the solar eclipse and you're like, oh, look, it's an eclipse, and you take a picture and it's like daylight. And you're like, can I turn that function off? No. Or, hey, I'm in Seoul, South Korea. I want to take a picture of the beautiful nights, like the view of the city all lit up in city lights and stuff from the top of the mountain in Seoul. Yeah, it looked like it was daytime. Well, not quite daytime, like twilight. I'm like, no, it's pitch dark out here. Samsung. Your low light camera is great, but I don't want it to be this bright. Can it please pretend to be dark? So yeah, you're just gonna like share Mia. She's gonna be there because it's either that or I show you over here and oh look, my Roku's on my TV and my laundry basket full of clothes that are clean to be folded. The dirty laundry piles over there. Ignore it. So yeah, I'm gonna get an Asus phone. The 5Q I'm leaning towards because again it's got the 4 cameras. It's also only $300. I think that's on sale. I think it's a discount. Giving me the idea that they're probably gonna release a new one here, an upgraded version here soon, which is also part of the reason why I'm waiting, because I want the new one if it's only $500. Whereas the Max Plus battery, like mega battery life, which is more, but it's not like that much more, is $500. And I'm like, that doesn't have 4 cameras. I would like 4 cameras. Dude, I'm a vlogger, or at least I'm trying to commit to being a vlogger. I don't know. The biggest thing is this is a secret from everyone, except for the people who know that it exists. So, it's hard because I want to do it, but I'm also so busy. I'm hoping now that my son is in his own bed, and it's a bed, not a crib, because he's a light sleeper. So, by the time I would go from, going over the crib rail and all the way down to his bed, so that he can't crawl out of the crib, it wakes him up. So I just decided, you know what? Babe proof the room, pull off the rail, make it a day bed because I can do that with his bed. And we're just gonna move him to a bed. That's just what it's gonna be. So that's why he's in a bed. This, in case you haven't noticed, I am terrible about going off on tangents and then forgetting my train of thought. And it seems random, and I swear I've just been able to touch this. This is not wine that's talking. This is me. So there you go. Now, some of the videos I'm gonna try to be structured. I definitely want to do a video coming up soon, kind of going in detail about my story about rabbit trails. Rabbit trails, that's lovely. I love that name. That's great. I want to do a video soon, kind of going more in depth on my postpartum depression. I plan to do that instead of this one, but then this just kind of fell into my lap, or maybe I'm just avoiding the other video or something. Um, but I do want to do that video. I don't want to, but I do want to. You know? Mostly just because my postpartum depression didn't manifest in the way that you expect it to. It didn't feel like depression. I wasn't, for the most part, wasn't feeling hopeless or depressed or anything. Um, but it did manifest in other ways. And so I finally broke down and went and saw my doctor, and I'm on medications now. Have been for a month and a half now. And let me tell you, best thing ever. I don't know when I'll ever be able to go off them. Um, I'm hoping now that I'm stopped nursing, that'll help my hormones rebalance or something. I don't know. That's a discussion I'll have with my doctor down the road. Um, but for right now, I am on a medication. Life is stabilizing again for the first time in a year. Let's be real. So, Willow had asked, or it commented, she doesn't understand why I keep YouTube a secret. And it's just, I think more out of fear. Like, I don't want people to know that I'm bearing my soul online, especially when it's not necessarily things I'm discussing with family, even though I probably should. I just don't know how they'll take it. So it's just easier if I keep it a secret, which is probably part of the reason why I'm so bad about posting. I do like this style of video, and I'm not quite sure how much I want my son Sethan to be in my videos. I think it's less. I don't want him in very often. I will bring him in every once in a while. That's mostly why I started this channel to begin with. Way back in the day, had been watching. We were trying to conceive. Had been for probably about 4 months. I was watching other videos, vloggers who were also in the same predicament as I was, and videos of people who had just very recently posted that they were pregnant, and stuff like that. And it was both a positive and a discouraging situation, because I was learning things and it was kind of nice to not be alone. But at the same time, I was seeing these women get pregnant and going, I'm not. And it's frustrating. Um, though it's completely normal. It, you know, after a year of trying, then you start to see your doctor, then you start looking into, okay, why? And most often it's just the stress that people put on trying to conceive, trying to get pregnant. But the normal window is 6 months. That's what's normal. And it's frustrating when you hit month 4 and 5 and your period comes, or it's a day or two late and then it comes because of the stress or whatever. So it was nice to watch those videos of people posting, and so I figured since it was helping me, I would also make videos helping other people, theoretically. And then I got pregnant, and then my morning sickness kicked in. Which, for those of you who haven't seen those videos from the first trimester of my pregnancy, was very rough. I got very sick. I actually had to be medicated to keep from throwing up all day, which was fine. That sometimes happens. The medication I was on was safe, But it made life difficult. It made the whole experience very hard. Um, Pregnancy is not for the lighthearted. But let me tell you, it's easier than motherhood. um, it's not for the lighthearted, but it's also preparing you for a, another difficult journey that will last their entire life. So, and then once my morning sickness did fade, and that was like halfway through my pregnancy, by the way. If you hadn't posted videos, I don't even remember where I left off posting them because I did record a video and then not post it, and I think at one point I had gone through and just deleted a whole bunch of videos off my phone because I was running out of room. I think that was one of the videos I deleted. And so once I hit the point where everything just my morning sickness faded and I kind of just hit status quo, and second trimester of the pregnancy, once your morning sickness fades, if you have morning sickness, most do, not all. It's just you just kind of reach status quo. You're feeling good, everything's going great. Theoretically, you're in the throes of getting the nursery together and starting to think about getting your baby registry together and all of this. And this is just, by the way, first time motherhood. Because this is my first child. You're in a lot of excitement. You are constantly thinking about how baby's doing and then simultaneously forgetting you're pregnant. Don't ask me how that works. I would be into my third trimester and forget that I was pregnant until I bumped against something with my stomach and, oh, right, I have a basketball in front of me. I don't understand how it works. I think you just kind of reach this normal and things just kind of exist. And then you go into labor and your world changes forever. And it's great. I did post my labor and delivery story. I like 90% certain. One thing you really should know about me, if you don't know about me, but you really, really should know about me, which you might not, I might not have mentioned it in this channel. If you were looking, you could probably figure it out. For those of you who might know this thing called Harry Potter, I am through and through a Ravenclaw. So I love learning about things. I love looking things up, researching. And I'm not talking like pouring through hours and hours of research. I love that at my fingertips, day and night, I can pull out my phone, get on Google, ask a question, and bam, there's my answer. 5 seconds, done, good, awesome. And then I either go down, as Willow mentioned, a rabbit trail of logic, or I just move on with my life. But I am slightly addicted to pulling open Google Discover, I think is what they call it. And basically, I've got like a whole bunch of topics that I quote unquote follow. And they're basically like tabloid articles, and I totally like to go in and read them. Not the ones that are obviously clickbaity, because those piss me off. Or the ones that are clearly recycling old information. But it's still nice to go, oh, gee, I wonder what the royal family was up to yesterday. Let me see. What kind of bullshit. It's just tabloid stuff. But it's fun to follow just a few. The royal family, and then Sumi, the older Duggar kids from 19 Kids and Counting, especially Ginger. Oh god, I love following her. I follow Ginger, Jessa. Both those girls are like they had no room for shit. Like they're real women, especially Jessa. Too. She's just like, this is me. This is my life. Accept it or get off my page. I love her. She's just unapologetic. And it's great. Because she's just like, mom life. See these piles of laundry here? I got 2 kids to chase after. Sometimes we'll have to sit there. So, I just love following them. It's just fascinating. Mostly those two. Yes, I follow them on Instagram. It's fun. And they've got little kids to follow too. It's so cute. Dude, Ginger's little girl is just the most adorable little thing. I love her. She's adorable. Felicity. Okay. So yeah. I got my guilty pleasures. There you go. They're cute. They're fun. Wine is good. This is better when I had time to breathe. Yes, I did just open the bottle and pour it in the glass. But I tilted it like you're supposed to. That's all I know about wine. And they taste like shit when you first pull them out of the bottle and sit for a while and let them breathe. Tastes better. I'm impatient and start drinking the glass as soon as I get it out because, hello, wine is the bread of life. Well, no, it's not. But seriously, if I want to have alcohol and I don't want a hard alcohol, which I want a hard alcohol, by the way, vodka. If I just want something that's a little cool, not so hard, wine of the red variety, usually preferably something fruity. So this is actually really good. I'm really glad. Like, it's a great $10 on a bottle of wine from Target, the ultimate mom store. I haven't been to Target in like 6 months because I just haven't. Again, we haven't had money, so I haven't gone shopping. In fact, I just got my nails done today for the first time in 3 months. So, which is why they're also really short. Camera, there's my camera. Really short and really pretty though. Yeah, they got a Christmassy flair. I don't care. Okay. Mia's now in the nursery making noise. I can't even tell what she's on. What the hell is she doing in there? As long as she doesn't wake up Seth and I don't care, I guess. Which last night was the first night in his own bed. Also involved sleep training, which when I tried to do that with him several months ago, I don't remember how long ago, that did not work. It just did not work at all well. Within 2 minutes, he'd be like losing his mind screaming. And that just wasn't something that worked for us at the time. But I think because it already night-weaned him, actually at this point twice, he was more open to the idea of not having mommy there, like within 5 minutes. And I'm glad I decided to go the more hardcore route because there's 2 different varieties you can do. You can do the gentler version, which is 5 minutes to start, or the more intensive version is 10 minutes. And I figured if after 10 minutes, after 5 minutes he wasn't screaming too badly, I'd give it up to 10 minutes and then go in. And he only did that. I only went there 3 times. The 4th time he settled himself down by the end of 10 minutes. At that point, we were at the 15-minute increment. So, good. And that was midnight last night. His bedtime is 8. And I didn't hear a peep out of him until 7 o'clock the next morning. Booyah! Mama gets to sleep again. Okay, seriously. One thing to know about me is I love sleep. I love my sleep. That was the one thing that going into motherhood, I was like, how the hell am I going to survive? Like, how is that going to happen? You do, just do. There's, it's just, you just do it. It sucks, but I also love my food, which was the hardest single part about my morning sickness. Because the medication they gave me to keep me from throwing up instantly made me nauseous. I mean, I wasn't throwing up, so I mean, I could go to my doctor and see about trying to mix up my medications to see if I can find something that was a little bit more, you know, pleasing. But she was she was a great doctor. She walked in the door and she was all about you. You know, you were her focus for 5 minutes, and then she had to move on to the next patient. It sucked, but you were all she thought about those 5 minutes. You, she was all on you. You were her world for those 5 minutes, which was great because she'd walk through the room and she's like, "Hi, how are you doing? How is life?" You know, and it's like, "How's baby doing?" And it was great, but getting in to see her was nearly impossible. So it was like, and her office was an hour from my work, and I'm like, you know, this medication is doing its job. I'm gonna suck it up. Not throwing up, for the most part. It's making me nauseous, but you know, that's kind of what morning sickness is. Sure. But it took me a couple weeks to realize that taking it made me nauseous. Um, because I would take it either before I ate or in the middle of eating, and it worked almost instantly. And I hit a point. I remember one night we were sitting down for dinner, and I had to. My husband's grandparents live with us, which is great because all three of my husband is a stay-at-home dad. He loves it. He kind of needs to be. He has fibromyalgia, and he's just now really getting. He was originally on this medication. It was great. It was good for him, but then he slowly started to not work as well. And then he reached a point where basically, even the summer, which was usually when he would feel good, wasn't feeling good. I don't know if he was just becoming more immune to the medication or if his fibromyalgia was just getting worse. But he just really wasn't able to work. He's not able to work as a job. He's just not. Um, he's finally on the road to brighter things. They've got him on a different, actually it's the same medication, just a much higher dose. And it seems to be doing a lot of good for him. So that's good for him. But his grandparents also live with us, which is great because they're home all day with Seth when I'm at work. So, you know, I would, when I was in my first trimester, I would have to have dinner ready as soon as I got home because I had to take my medication as soon as I got home, pretty much. And we were sitting down to eat dinner one night, and it wasn't my favorite foods. They usually don't serve my favorite foods. It's their foods. And I'm a foodie. I love my food. You don't get between me and food. Unless you're my son. Evidently. Um, and I was sitting down and I decided to take it mid meal, and almost instantly I couldn't stand the idea of looking at the food. Let alone touching it. And I had turned from the table and I just broke down. I was just so downtrodden. It just had reached a point where it's like, how him how am I supposed to feed this child when I can't feed me? This is it sucked. There are some women who lose tens of pounds in the first trimester because they can't eat, or they're just so sick. I did have it, for as sick as I was, I did have it easy. Um, I thankfully did not lose a lot of weight in my first trimester. We were able to get me on medication, and then she gave me a secondary dose that I could take if I had breakthroughs. Because at that point I'd had some, just a couple, but had some, um, which was actually great. I wish that pregnancy, that medication was safer for pregnancy. Um, is it's one of those medications that it's okay if you take it like 10 times in your pregnancy, like over a 3-month span. Not something you can take daily, which sucked because it really worked, and it worked well. In fact, I actually still had some. I still have primitive medication, that all my anti-nausea medications hanging around. And last weekend, no, last weekend I was super productive. The weekend before I'd had a stomach bug. And I was basically home with my son all weekend, that weekend, which was sucked. All day Saturday I was home with him. And I was just nauseous all day. I was just, God, I wish I could eat. This is just, I thought that, I just had gone too long between eating. I hadn't eaten enough that morning, and my stomach was just mad because I didn't eat, and then it was in that vicious cycle of now I'm nauseous and I can't eat, but I know I need to eat because if I eat, then it'll make my nausea go away because it's not my stomach. And turned out I realized the next morning, when the diarrhea hit, that, you know what? Maybe I actually do have a stomach bug, and the 99.4 fever I've been having for the past day is actually a stomach flu and not just my stomach hating me. But that night I made my son dinner, and I was gonna go sit down and eat it with him, and I was like, I have that anti-nausea medication around, right? I just had seen it when I was cleaned like a couple weekends ago, right? Because if I don't take that now, I'm gonna throw up. I don't want to throw up because I've been desperately trying to get food in me the whole day. I haven't gotten a lot from me that day, but I had gotten some. And I was able to find it and take it, and I didn't throw up. It was glorious. Yeah, there's my flu story for you. Not a flu story, it's a stomach bug. It wasn't quite the stomach flu, but yeah. Anti-nausea meds. Those things are great. It's also, I guess, kind of great fentanyl when you're in labor. Okay, it's not, but still. -5 appetite. I love you. You're so nerdy. You're my kind of people. But, I mean, I barely touched my wine, people. Do you see this? I need to drink more. This stuff's good. Like, I had no expectations. It's good. Yeah, stomach bugs do suck. They are the worst, especially when you don't realize you have a stomach bug. And then the diarrhea that I had, it was one of those days where, this might be a little graphic, don't trust the fart. I made that mistake like 3 times that Sunday. Don't trust it. Just don't. Just don't. It was really funny because my husband was sitting there, and then I just, all of a sudden, I just get up and just beeline for the bathroom. He's like, I'm like, don't trust the fart. I trusted the fart. And he's just like, oh. I was wondering if that would happen. Okay. Well, I guess this is the end of this video. while I now work through this. So, good night, y'all. Check out the description. I've got my Instagram handle there. I'm trying to actually be active on it. So yeah, go check that out. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh, how do I end this thing? No, like YouTube, how do I end it?